Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching The Haunting of Hill House Season 1, Episode 1, Stephen Sees a Ghost. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring this show. I am kind of nervous going into it because horror films are scary, but I have heard so much about this show, not like plot-wise, but just people raved about it when it first came out. So I'm really excited to watch it. When it first came out, I was kind of wary of watching a horror film, but I've kind of done a little bit more horror stuff in my, watched a few more horror films and played a lot of Phasmophobia, so hopefully I'm going to be ready for this. And this is just future editing Joy popping in to say that when I filmed this I wasn't entirely sure when it would be going on YouTube, and I have decided this first episode is going up onto YouTube edited on Halloween, and then they'll be out every Sunday from then, and the unedited reactions go up every Wednesday. Currently we have episodes 1 and 2, and then episode 3 will be up on Wednesday, and then episode 2 will be up on Patreon unedited, on YouTube edited on Sunday. I hope that makes sense. Back to previous me. Yes, I'm scared, I'm excited, let's go.
Stood by itself against its hills, holding darkness within. It had stood so.
This is not an ominous opening. Please say there is a baby in this household.
What was it?
Oh dear.
Oh, her again. I guess everybody can go back to bed now.
If she's long gone, she could come back. And given that it's a TV show, it's never just a nightmare.
But kids' dreams are special. They're like
this is good
Parenting.
parenting. That's what he taught him as well.
big dreams.
But given that we're watching a horror show, it's real.
You get back to sleep.
I think if your kids are having terrible nightmares regularly, maybe send them to go live with a grandparent or something for a while. I'm not waiting for something to jump scare me, or at least creepy scare me.
Pandas don't eat macaroni.
No, they don't.
No good.
Did he close that door? No thank you, camera zooming in. Please no. That made me jump. Okay, I've officially decided I require my emotional support, Baby Yoda, but he also can't watch because he's too little. I think once I get a sense of the spookiness, it's all going to be okay, but right now I don't like it. Oh Lord. I don't like it. Yeah, this is the sort of thing that, like, I get in my head about at night and then I can't sleep because I'm convinced I can see someone there. The more, I think, it's a bit like with anything, the more you get used to like how it's spooky, the easier it is to watch.
And then I looked up at the ceiling, and there he was.
People like this, you would get treated psychiatrically thinking it was just grief and not being able to cope with it, but
I could see the water.
the one thing that comforts me with horror things and ghost things is if ghosts were real, they would be so much more commonplace than they are.
Irene, this is what I'd like to do. I'd like to look around your house. I'd like to set up some equipment. I'd also like to sleep in that room tonight.
Fuck no.
Goodness.
I'll be fine. And I thank you for sharing it with me.
Well, if he's not a counsellor or anything, he's writing a book about ghost stories. Because he grew up in a haunted house. I suppose you try and make... Either he doesn't believe, even though he grew up in a haunted house, but he's just trying to make sense of it, or to try and make money off it. I don't know.
I hope tonight is a game changer for you.
Oh God, I don't.
Maybe my car. You were one of his favorite writers, so maybe.
See, it's also...
For all this.
If she loves ghost stories, maybe that's why she's imagining it in her grief.
I'd rather sleep here in case she comes back.
I would rather sleep in between Mum and Dad. If the ghost is just in the house, would it be confined to the room? Check in the surroundings for any ghosts. You don't scream, you just stare. That would mess you up for life. I mean, you'd hope, I guess if they didn't live there for that many years, that you would grow out of it, grow up, kind of reach a point where it was just a series of nightmares like a lot of kids have, but...
because it's important to say goodbye to Grandma.
Little
It's
kids
just a way to do that.
don't need to do it if they're not ready. You can say goodbye to Grandma in all sorts of ways.
I don't need to say goodbye.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
A lot of people feel that way.
Does he see her at night?
Her eyes must hurt
Why?
because she doesn't blink.
Jesus Christ.
Worried about Luke? Have you talked to him? Call me.
This family has been messed up by what happened when they were kids.
What do you think is in there? What if it's a cotton candy machine?
That
That'd be something.
would be nicer than what's probably in there.
Not a pony. Moving. I saw the shadow under the door.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For years and I want to see what's in there too. Let's go see if Daddy has any more keys.
Is there something horrific in there? That's why it's a different lock. Oh, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you.
I know you don't need me to tell you.
I thought daytime was safe. She's not answering them anymore after frantically trying to call.
Hope you're well, Nellie. I mean that.
He capitalized off the experience that seems to have traumatized his family.
It's your story. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who are you? Sociology? I mean, the
Is she just
program's
interested
brutal,
in
but
sleeping together? She doesn't want to know
medicine
anything about
is
you.
such a great- Hi.
So they live together still. Well, she lives in their garage, technically. Are they all still really affected by whatever happened? I'm
I know
scared.
you normally prefer the company. You're worse than a guy. You're like a frat guy.
Yeah, that was the vibe I got.
Expecting the pussy parade. We still haven't talked since LA. Theo. Don't. I'm just waiting for an apology. I'm drawing boundaries, which is something you might want to look into.
Yeah, it is good for your own mental health.
Luke will show up when he needs money. Just keep thinking, what if he doesn't?
It's hard, isn't it?
Or if he does, it'll be the last time I ever see him. Boundaries. Maybe a brick wall when it comes to work.
It is so hard, isn't it, between the line between boundaries for yourself and wanting to be there for your family. Okay. Baby Yoda, I need you again, but you can't look. Oh, Lord. There was no one beside him in the bed. That was pleasant. Deeply pleasant. Was that just a nightmare or was that a ghostly encounter?
Honey, are you okay? What time is it?
Did their mum die?
Remember the bed neck lady?
Or did they break up? We can hope for the breaking up, but...
She's back.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, now I'll see you there tomorrow.
Okay. Where is she really? Please don't say she's at Hill House. I mean, it makes sense for the show. Who's there now? Why are all the lights on? And all the windows are boarded up? Jesus Christ, that made me jump too! Get off. Do 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 do. Sorry, I'm very scared right now. It's getting dark outside behind my blinds as well.
We're gonna run.
Dad, what's going on?
Quiet.
Oh, Lord. I would have waited longer.
You keep your eyes closed no matter what you hear. You don't open them.
That's good parenting.
Do you promise? Okay.
Close your eyes right now, child, please.
Eyes closed.
Oh Lord, 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 oh Lord.
Get back in the car.
I saw Abigail in the window. She was in the window.
Oh.
What's happening? What's happening? Where's Mom? I thought I saw her upstairs.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Dad! Dad! Dad!
These poor babies. But he could see what supposed paranormal experiences have done to everyone else in his family and to the people who actually saw it, and yet he's still seeking it out for himself. I suppose you want to know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I might just start singing whenever I get scared.
Now he's in the red room.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Dude, is it just a leak in the window? Because it looks like it's raining outside, in the wall, and not in the window, I mean in the ceiling. La 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 la. So this could just be a grieving lady on a main road.
Might want to get that looked at. Water damage is no joke.
Did she want to believe in a way it was her
Happens all the
husband
time.
reaching out to her?
I mean,
Why would I want to see my Carl like that?
because it's better than
I
never
do
seeing
believe,
him
I
again.
do kind of agree with him.
Is the things they told you in
I'm
confidence?
clear that they were kids.
You make mom sound fucking crazy.
Oh, Mom wasn't crazy?
And the Dudleys and Dad? This is the worst of the bullshit. Worse than the tabloids.
Dad had every opportunity to set that straight.
Ooh.
What am I to move to LA? I need to start a real life for my own family.
We're your family, Steve.
Yeah, you are screwing over the family you've got. Fictionalize it, change all the names.
Mom was mentally ill.
Did it set any of them back in
Right,
their,
your
like,
story.
recovery?
I wasn't thinking clearly that night. We just lean on that. We can't unring this bell. Okay, fine, they can rip me to pieces.
He wants to protect his children any further. He told the truth.
Near the house. I want to know every day that it's empty.
Mm-hmm.
No gardeners.
Because he believes it's
no
haunted.
staff.
Because it is.
What do you want?
So their marriage didn't go well.
Sister.
You know what you'd have to say. You tell me. Is there any point?
Oof. What did you do, Stephen? You seem to have isolated yourself from everybody. If this is called Stephen Sees a Ghost, is he going to see a ghost?
No one would come nearer than town. No one will come any nearer than that. So yes.
Why?
They lived all alone.
Why would you allow a family with 100 children to live here?
In the dark. The world is dark, young man, and the only light is the light of the Lord Jesus Christ. We need his light.
Amen.
Tonight.
They seemed like such a good family when they arrived here.
Some girl I saw by the woods.
Oh, Jesus.
What's next? She's not imaginary.
That's even worse.
Will you hang out with me?
You want me to?
Yeah, you can hang out all the time.
Oh.
Draw together. No girls. Just Stevie and Luke.
Bless.
Where do you get the ideas for these drawings?
He sees them. Luke.
Hey, Luke.
Cool kids.
Hey, Steve. Are you cold?
Is he stealing
Yeah.
to get money?
I need the iPad. It stays here.
It's so hard, isn't it? These kids got so messed up. Of course they did.
I know it really isn't what you think. Good.
Tell him what it is then. Or it is what he thinks.
Lee sent you here? I tried to tell Dad we're having some issues.
Is she not really here?
Got us all listening. What do you want?
Is she gonna scream?
What's so damn important now?
Oh Lord.
Shit.
Jesus Christ. Oh Jesus Christ. Stephen does indeed see a ghost. They all woke up, didn't they, and said Nell's in the red room. Thank you. Emotional support, Baby Yoda. sorry, just it helps to cuddle something. And like, I do want to keep watching the show, even though it does severely freak me out. I think the only reason that I would stop watching would be if at night I can't sleep, which only happened after I saw The Woman in Black in the cinema. Something about that movie, I still get freaked out by it, but this so far I think will be fine. Thank you so much for sponsoring this, Albert. I'm sorry that I feel like I spent most of it just like, I'm scared, but that was how I felt. I'm really excited to get into the story of this. I think that's what makes a good horror film versus like one that's just there for jump scares and whatnot, is having a good story. And I am invested in this story. I'm invested in what happened when they were kids. I think it's so fascinating that we kind of see towards the beginning of it when she's having these recurring nightmares and we as the audience know that there is a bent neck lady, the locked door with something going on behind it, and then knowing that it all culminates in their dead waking up in the middle of the night, desperately running them out of the house and trying to get to safety with his kids. Now, given that we as the audience know that there is supernatural stuff going on, that is some freaking good parenting, you know, getting them out one by one. I can't even imagine the terror he would have been going through, and then the kids having no idea what was happening. No wonder they're all affected by it. I mean, they are all affected by it because Stephen seems the least affected by it until now, in the sense that he tried writing other stuff and now he's sort of profiting off it. But the very fact that the thing he's most able to write about well is his own personal experience and then other horror stories does really just tell you that he's never recovered from it. Then Shirley, she runs a funeral home. Now obviously somebody has to run a funeral home, and if you can be people that are respectful and kind, then that is good. I don't think it should be like a business industry, but we do obviously need funeral home people. But I feel like often most people aren't going to want that career, so it does seem as though she's been kind of affected by the death and whatnot around her. We don't entirely know what Theo does. Like, obviously she's living with her sister, which, you know, in media at least, whenever an adult is not living fully independently, that means that they're struggling, rather than it just being a perfectly normal thing, especially with millennials. But I don't exactly know what her life is, but she's very emotionally closed off. She's a germaphobe, or at least she doesn't like to touch things, although she was clearly doing sex, she was okay with it. You know, she puts her gloves on the second she's done, doesn't want any kind of emotional contact. The minute that girl started trying to get to know her the littlest bit, she kicked her out, and that seems to be a recurring theme, so she's shut off emotionally. Then Luke is a drug addict. It seems he's desperately struggling. God knows what else he saw as a little baby. And I mean, Nell's now dead, but she very clearly, being the one that had the most obvious horrific ghost sightings, was struggling from that. And the dad also seems to be struggling, and he has. And it's so funny, the one where he kind of had his wife next to him in the bed. Now that could so be a dream because he kind of woke up and she was gone, but that could so also actually be a ghost. I think something that I find very terrifying is like the idea that a ghost isn't necessarily trapped to the room it was in, the room or the house. You know, there's something kind of comforting, like if you run out of the scary house, it's gone. But I guess, you know, it's the fact that at the end Nell was able to appear to him in a house nowhere near where he was. Oh, that's just beyond terrifying. I am never living in an old house ever, because at night time, if I was alone and it was windy out, I would die of scare, of fright, and it would literally just be me in the house. But I am so invested in figuring out what happened, and I feel like the spooks are going to escalate. We will see how I cope with it. If I need to, I will pause it and do a reaction in a couple of parts if I find it get too scared. But I think I am okay. A lot of my getting scared is overthinking things, and then, like, you know, you build it up in your head and you're like, oh, what's going to happen, and then it happens. I think I'll be fine because I'm so invested in this story and I really do want to watch it, and I've wanted to watch it for a long time. But yes, so on Patreon, the unedited reactions might be unedited in smaller parts. Should it start getting too much for me, I'll be like, oh, okay, we're going to stop recording, and then, you know, come back an hour or so later and finish it. But this was a very, very good episode. Very good opening, and at the end, you know, when I first saw Nell standing there, I was like, oh, it's Nell, and then I was like, wait, the episode's called Stephen Sees a Ghost. He didn't see a ghost at his, like, job meeting type thing. You can also see how it's affected him and that he's not happy in a marriage anymore. We don't know what happened there yet. I like the fact that he was kind of able to disprove that woman. Now maybe it will turn out she really does have the ghost of her husband, but I think with her it was. I like that the show is kind of showing two sides of the coin: the genuine hauntings, the genuine ghosts, and then the side of it where it is just grief and circumstance and tragedy coming together. Yeah, you couldn't pay me. I'm so hard. Like, part of me is like, I want to live in a medieval castle forever, and the rest of me is like, no, it would get dark and I would get scared. This was very intriguing, and the main thing I've taken from this is that I'm so intrigued with what happens next. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring this show, and thank you for watching.